Prime Minister announces measures to reduce the economic pressure on the poor and vulnerable, a call for the media to focus on development issues, and local football talent to benefit from Digicel-Chelsea partnership. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Government has set aside $5.5 billion for social protection. In delivering her budget presentation on Tuesday, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller said this will help to protect the welfare of the nation's vulnerable. In addition, street people and the indigent are among 4 groups of persons to benefit from a $280 million social intervention allocation by the National Housing Trust.
The areas that will benefit are the improvement of infirmaries, assisting with the provision of shelter for street persons.
On the issue of jobs, the Prime Minister indicated that a total of 35,000 jobs would come from a number of initiatives, including the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program (JEEP). At the same time, Mrs. Simpson-Miller reiterated the need for persons to support Jamaica's economic reform program, noting that the sacrifices were paying off.
The tough decisions we have taken and the painful adjustments, Mr. Speaker, we have had to make, they are bearing fruits. We are seeing encouraging signs.
Signs like a decline in the debt-to-GDP ratio and growth in sectors such as agriculture, tourism, construction and mining. Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner is calling on the media to educate the populace about development issues. The minister, who was speaking last Friday at the World Press Freedom Day Breakfast Forum, said every Jamaican needs to understand the issues confronting Caribbean nations.
They must know why we have to reduce the debt burden, why we must keep good fiscal balances, why we need to increase exports and build capacity, seek to explain to our people the tough choices and challenges which they will face no matter who is in power.
World Press Freedom Day, which was officially commemorated on Saturday, May 3, was held under the theme Reaching New Goals. Free media fortifies the post-2015 development agenda.
I'm happy to be here to be celebrating another landmark in Jamaica's sporting development.
Minister with responsibility for sport Natalie Nita Headley last Wednesday hailing a partnership between telecommunications firm Digicel and English football club Chelsea. Through the Digicel Kickstart Clinic, both entities will be working to develop young football talent so that Jamaica can lift its profile in the sport.
Initiatives such as these take the players to a higher level and build confidence in the ability of our sport programs to have immediate and meaningful impact.
Under the initiative, training was provided for 30 youth footballers, 3 of whom will be selected to train at Digicel's Academy in Barbados in October. Coaches from Chelsea will help to coordinate the event. Prime Minister Simpson-Miller is keeping tabs on the progress of the North-South Highway project. Last week, she met with the new president of China Harbour Engineering Company, Czech, Mr. Lin Yi-chong. He told Mrs. Simpson-Miller that Czech was working hard to meet the August 6th deadline for the opening of the Linstead to Monique leg of the North-South Highway. And the Prime Minister participated in the 6th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Association of Caribbean States in Mexico on Wednesday. Mrs. Simpson-Miller was accompanied by Foreign Affairs Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson. Jamaica and Mexico discussed initiatives to further strengthen cooperation in disaster risk management, connectivity in the region, trade development, and sustainable tourism. And back at Jamaica House, the administration welcomed foreign dignitaries and allies in support of key local initiatives. Prime Minister met with representatives of the TUI Travel PLC Group, a Spanish investor in Jamaica. Charisma Hotel and Resorts, which is part of the TUI Group, officially opened the first Sensatori Hotel in Negril, Westmoreland last week. Mrs. Simpson-Miller also entertained a representative from the United Nations Population Fund, as well as the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in the Caribbean and Latin America. The minister with responsibility for sport, meanwhile, met with the Permanent Secretary and Sport Minister of Namibia. And that's it for this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next week for the latest from the Office of the Prime Minister.